Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's actually wild that we are doing this in real time, so fingers crossed, because every time I say this, never happens. You will be seeing this tomorrow.
In an ideal world, we're actually filming up-to-date videos.
Yeah, literally. I would have filmed this earlier, so if the lighting's shit, I apologise, but I was shitting. So, when it was light.
Yeah.
And yes,
dark.
it's been that long. So we went to Sainsbury's earlier because we were going to have cookie dough for dinner. We then decided we were actually hungry, so we had dinner instead of cookie dough. Sacrilege. So we're going to have the cookie dough tomorrow. But the point I'm trying to make is we went to a new Sainsbury's in Tunbridge Wells because we decided to go for a little drink after work. Diet Coke and Coke. We're not adventurous. And we went to a new Sainsbury's around the corner, and I found what's called peanut butter.
Yeah.
So it's sunflower seeds, salt, and sugar.
Yeah.
But oh my god, I've not had. I was gonna say nuts. I've said it now. I've not had nuts for so many years, and peanut butter. Oh my god, it is phenomenal. There was only 3 left on the shelf, and my brain, when something
Cleared
might
out,
be good,
yeah.
What?
Cleared out the shelf, yeah.
Yeah.
You took it
I
off.
literally got everything. Mainly because it said clearance and it was £1. And I was thinking, if they're discontinuing this shit, I need to buy it
You need
all.
to stock up,
because
yeah.
I was like, if it's shit, it's £3. If it's
Yeah.
great, it's £3. Like,
Oh,
amazing. Moral of the story is, the new items that I ate today were that and gnocchi. Gluten-free, dairy-free gnocchi. One of them I'm allergic to, so we get to play the Guess Who game, really.
Elimination, yeah.
Yeah, because I've got no gnocchi left in the house. I ate it all. And oh god, what boring way to start the vlog. Yeah, so I'm gonna try the peanut butter in a couple of days. But anyway, guys, welcome back.
First time you're filming in how long? A month?
Longer, because well, surgery. What date was your surgery?
The 26th of July, so it's been over a month since my surgery.
Yeah, because your surgery was the Friday, and we recorded up until maybe the Sunday or the Saturday.
Yeah, you and Sam were vlogging the weekend.
Yeah, so it's been about 4 weeks since we've picked up the camera. I've picked it up since to record a couple of bits for dancing. I was not dancing. But yeah, it feels weird to be back. So I apologise for the lack of, I was going to say lack of inconsistency, but that's wrong. The lack of consistency on the vlog. It's Lee's fault, really. So
Pretty much.
it really was. I feel like I'm going to need to have a poo again soon. If this cuts short, that's why. If you get a 2-minute vlog, it is what it is. Allergies. So yeah, we put a question box up on Instagram. And I was immediately humbled because only one person wrote in it.
To be fair, that's one more than if I put one up on mine, you would have got nothing.
It was Sally, and she did write 2 questions. One of them was, do you know the Muffin Man? Only if he makes allergy-free cakes, really.
I've been eating a lot of muffins though, dude. It's
You have been eating a lot of muffins, but no, I don't know the Muffin Man. And the other question was...
She's on the list.
was it like, how did you
go to the toilet, or how did you wipe your bum?
How did I wipe my ass? With my left hand. So, as you would have seen by the title of the vlog, we are having a little bit of a catch up with you guys after surgery. So I had surgery, you might be able to see it, there's some dots on my wrist there. So I had wrist surgery, and Lily had double jaw surgery.
Which is why it's been a while, because I was quite swollen and unable to really talk properly. So
Yeah, Lee couldn't say
I still
anything.
can't talk properly now. I'm getting there, but
Yeah.
it was a lot more difficult the last few weeks.
To quickly answer the question, I wipe my ass with my left hand, and I've actually gotten a lot better at doing things with my left hand. So that's all the questions. Thank you so much for watching.
That's it, yeah. Your mum would be fuming if that's how long that really
My
was.
mum, she would complain to YouTube. She gets fuming about. I was gonna
recording, where is it? 4 minutes 40 seconds. If that's when it cut out.
imagine
she'd
she
have
would
complaints.
disown me as a child. She was Sally and her were the 2 people that actually text me when we had a little
They
bit of a
were,
break
which
to
was
say,
hilarious.
Sally said, I know you're like not well, but can you please like
Yeah.
just ignore that and post on YouTube. But yeah, for the surgery vlog, I apologise for how weird that must have seemed, because Lee was in it and then Lee just wasn't in it.
Yeah.
But I, as you could see, was a bit emotional and dumbfounded by the whole sort of situation that week. There was no way I was putting a camera in front of Lee's face. It just was not the right thing to do.
I think we knew what to expect, but we didn't know what to expect when we were actually in that week, and it was like, oh, okay, this is a lot.
like we knew we was filming a surgery week vlog, and Lee knew we was filming it. I knew I was filming it before my surgery, and obviously I didn't know how you'll still... It's kind of the same for both of us, isn't it? Because you see me film before my surgery, and then there's like snippets, and then it's like a day later or 2 days later when I'm sitting and I'm about to eat sushi. Because if you've not had surgery before, you just can't be fucked to do anything.
It takes it out, for a few days. Like,
you've got no interest. It's kind of like I couldn't care less. Like,
the anaesthetic just wipes you out completely, and you've got no energy or get up and go. You just need to rest. If we could go back and make the decision again, I wouldn't do it. Oh, okay.
I don't know whose I would push back, but I wouldn't do it. Probably mine. Because you've been waiting for so long. So I got my date like a week or so before Lee got his date. It really wasn't. It was all sort of at the same time, but mine officially came through first, even though it had to be delayed. Yeah, I think what would you do?
There's one of the questions kind of at the end, which I'll repeat anyway, but I'm glad we had it done at the same time and got it out the way. I probably wouldn't do them again at the same time. No, it was a lot for both of us to be...
It was more... Well, we might as well answer that question now. The reason I would not do it like that again is because, and we've chatted about this, I had mine first, and I don't think it would have mattered either way around who sort of had it first in that week. But I had mine first on the Monday. I had to stay in overnight because my hand was numb. So the surgeon came round and would not let me go home if my hand was numb, and I was pissed off. Because
you didn't want to.
Out of all 4 of the surgeries that I've had on my wrists, I wanted to go home. Whereas the others, I was like, oh God, no, I'm not sure. So the first surgery, I actually went home on the day
off,
and the next 3 I've had to stay in, and I really wanted to go home, but I felt like I had like Monday obviously afternoon, evening to recover, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday was sort of us prepping for your surgery, and your dad came over, and if anyone knows what I'm like, I want my house to be perfect, and we knew within like a couple of hours that your dad was coming round. Because they called you really late for your surgery, didn't they?
Yeah, they called me the day before, basically, to let me know I was in 7:30 the next morning. So, to save my dad having to get up at like 5 AM to come here...
Because I obviously couldn't drive
and then go all the way to the hospital, it made more sense to him to come down the evening before, stay the night, and then we could just get up early doors and go straight to the hospital without...
Which meant I obviously had to shit, shower, shave again on the Thursday with Lee's sort of help. He stood in the bathroom whilst I had a shower smoke, so I didn't like pass out. He did not help with the shitting and the shaving. Or the showering, really. You were just sort of monitoring.
Yeah, I was
dirty bitch. But basically, the point I am eventually trying to frickin' make is that past that point, my recovery was done. And I don't mean that had anything to do with Lee, because Lee kept saying... No, sit down, I'll do it. Obviously, we had the amazing Samantha.
Yeah, your focus shifted, really.
But I immediately was like, Lee, we were both in pain. That hurts too much to even do that. We were both in pain, but Lee, in my eyes, had a more major operation. So it's like he won in a way. And again, nothing, he's not said this or come across that way at all. Lee couldn't do anything in those first couple of days. Now, when I went to see him on that Friday... He couldn't even be bothered to have me sitting next to him. And again, not in a mean way. He had no energy to give me. And if you know me and Lee personally, or like from here, you'll see that Lee will do anything to make me feel okay, even when he doesn't. And he couldn't do that. And that's when I sort of switched and was like, right, I need to step up even more here. So I was trying to prep his meal or drinks and stuff. Like, I was getting up constantly. Let me get you this. Let me do you this. At the expense of, you see me in that last video when I was crying, I was in pain. I was in so much pain. I didn't know what to do with myself. And like, I thank the people that came down and helped. But at the same time, I was like, just fucking go away. Because it was like, I'm so thankful that the people that came down that did, but also I didn't have the energy to fart. I didn't have the energy to do anything. I just wanted to curl up in a ball and cry because I was so overwhelmed with it all, of having to try and look after you. And everyone was, and when he was going, oh, sit down, it's fine. And I'm like, it's not fine because you're not going to eat and you need to eat. Like, as in, all he could do the first couple of, like, the first week or so was drink. Yeah. And it's like, he didn't have the energy to get up and do that. So I had to do it. Like, when we was putting shopping away, I was trying to do it, like, with one hand, but remembering that this hand is actually weaker than this one, and this is the one that's just been operated on. Yeah. So it's really, really difficult for me mentally. I felt like I was just having continual breakdowns. Like, it was like, we had Sam the first weekend come down, which was amazing. Like, I love having Sam down. And I think even she said in the last vlog, like, it was really nice to have that one-on-one time when we was driving to and from the hospital. The 2 days, basically. Yeah, like the first night when you was in hospital, obviously I was really worried about you, but it was just us two. And it was really lovely. We then had, your mum came down on the Tuesday. Yeah, so you had an appointment. I had to go to the hospital. My dad kindly took me. Like, we went on the train together. And my mum come down and spent the day with me, which was really handy. She just helped out doing... It is, like what I said to her, I felt bad asking for it, but it's all the little shit bits that would take either one of us a lot of energy or a lot of pain to do. But, like, just sort of washing a few things up, chucking the wash on, hanging it up. Like, yeah, that's what Sam did as well. Like, taking the bins out. It's the simple little things that every day we just do out of habit, but for either one of us to do it that time. And then your dad took you to the hospital on the Thursday for your checkup. Yep. My dad then came did my mum come that weekend? Your mum come that weekend. So she did she did Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, so your mum was with you when I went to the hospital. Yeah. And then she stayed the weekend. My dad came the following Tuesday and your mum and dad came... day before, the Monday? The Monday before they went on holiday. So it was your mum and dad then. So, like, I'm so thankful that our parents and Sam, like, really made the effort to come down and see us because it's been lonely. Yeah, like, you imagine we were cooped up. Neither one of us could drive. Neither one of us could drive. Lee's only just started driving we've done little practice drives. Yeah, that was another point I was going to say about how did we find it both having it at the same time. One massive downfall we had was we were so cooped up and not trapped, but... Well, you are. We live in a little village now. Like, we have a bus service, but neither of us had the energy. The bus that comes through our village is every hour up to a point, and then it goes every 2 hours. You can't risk, and the taxis aren't very great around here, like, you can't risk getting a bus somewhere and having to wait potentially 2 hours for it to just turn up to take you back, which would be another 20 minutes, half an hour. Yeah. So that's another reason why I'd say having it, if we did do it again, not having it at the same time, because it just meant we were both here. Neither of us could drive, we couldn't get out and go to the shops or anything like that. We were literally stuck, which made it even more helpful when people did come down. They could pick up some milk, some odd bits, help us shop. Like, yeah. Unfortunately, we missed your mum and dad's 40th wedding anniversary. We did, party. Yeah. There was a. I was really sad about that. We was debating it on the day. Like, I was still quite swollen in a lot of pain. You was in a lot of pain anyway. No, Lee was having nosebleeds on the day and kept going, "Oh, do you think we can make it?" And I was like, "Hun, you're bleeding." No. Yeah, I was debating it all day, going, "Oh, I could surprise them. Like, I might be alright." I hadn't done long drive at that point, had I? No. So I was like, and then I got up at one point and had a nosebleed, and I was like, "That's maybe the universe telling me I should not go to this and should just rest." Yeah, no, definitely not. But yeah, it's been a mission. Like, I think those the past 4 weeks since Lee's surgery anyway. Yeah. It feels like surgery was 6 months ago. It does, yeah. It feels like such a long time has passed.
Yeah.
That it's been the slowest 4 weeks of my life, but also the quickest, and I don't know how that makes sense.
No.
But I've been back at work. This will be my 3rd week back at work.
Yeah. It's been weird. Like we knew before. We said it was going to be tough, and we said we'd give ourselves some credit and like leeway because we knew it'd be stressful and we'd both be in pain. I think we might have underestimated that slightly.
Just a smidge. Like
it was very tough, and
Lee still can't chew.
No, yeah. So one of the questions is, can you eat, or how long did it take?
Should we start the questions from the top because I feel like I keep chiming. I don't know what these are.
We've covered a lot of them. So,
okay, no, start from the top. We'll just.
So how did you find it both having surgery at the same time? And,
fucking shit.
And are you glad you did it?
No.
I'm glad now it's done, but if
yeah,
we could do it
hindsight's
again,
a wonderful thing, isn't it?
I would. Yeah, it was very tough. We knew when we sort of told that it would be tough, and we were just like, oh, it's alright, we'll muck in, we'll get through it. And then I think we didn't realise really how difficult it would be.
No, because I've been around 2 people, Katie when I was at drama school, and well, my sister, but I wasn't here. I was living in Prague at the time. And Katie, that was her recovery. I was living with her at the time.
Yeah.
And that was a long time ago. That was like 2016. So 8 years ago is when I was sort of around someone that had it. But because I wasn't directly looking after her, I think her mum was down from Manchester, I didn't know and don't remember what to expect.
No.
And you've been obviously around me when I've had wrist surgeries before, so you sort of had an idea.
Yeah.
So really this is all your fault.
Right, well, that's the end of that vlog. You've had previous surgery, so sort of do what to expect with yours. I've obviously had a similar-ish
Yeah, you
jaw
had your
surgery
jaw widened,
years
didn't you?
ago, but definitely not on the scale of this.
No. Next question.
But yeah, glad we did it. So how was each of your recoveries?
I would say mine is harder than I've had it before. They refused to put it in a cast for the first week or 2, which usually is quite helpful. Because the way my bones are, and you just got about intuition about your own body. Mine needs to rest and understand what the hell has gone on with it, and then it can start to kick into the healing. But I was told it had to get moving straight away, so it was in that bandage that you saw in the last vlog for a week. It then come out and it's been in sort of I haven't got one up here to show you. It's like a sock sort of bandage vibe, and then they make you a wrist support, which is so painful. My wrist hates them. They can never make one that is comfortable for my wrist. When I'm sort of chilling like this, I take it out of everything, and obviously I try and get it a bit more moving.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say my recovery has been faster and slower. Again, if that makes any sense. It was healing really well, and then a fly flew into my ear a couple of weeks ago, and I was in the garden like this, resting my wrist out of all the bandages and stuff. Went like that, and my hand flicked backwards and forwards. The fly was still in my ear. You had to get it out. It was only a little one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just a little one.
But at that point, it had only been a week that I'd had it out of the bandages, and I just clutched it. My eyes filled with, I've never felt pain like that, and I've broken bones. So I told Lee to get me an ice pack, but the whole time, even coming out of surgery, it wasn't that. It was painful, but it wasn't oh my God, I'm in severe pain. That was severe pain. So that put me back a couple of weeks. Yeah, that was
a little bit of a setback you had. You were doing well, and then it was just a natural reaction anyone would do with a bug. And yeah, it just put you back a couple of weeks. It's definitely getting stronger now, and it's strengthening up, and you are getting there with it.
But right now, for instance, I've got pain here. This little dot, the top dot, is a lump, which is a bit weird. I can't decide if that's a stitch or not.
I don't think so.
It sort of looks like one. So we had this really grim situation happen with it was this operation because it was there. With the Harry Potter operation, which I can't remember what he actually did, if I'm honest. Where were we? We were in the flat, weren't we?
Yeah.
We were in the flat, and I had an itch, and I was itching. My mum's gonna get jelly legs at this bit. I was itching the scar, and I never knew. I was never told there were stitches in. I was told they were dissolvable. Like I was never told there was proper stitches. And something poked out. Like literally, it was like it looked like that. Obviously little. And I was just to myself. I just went and poked it back in, and then sat there and was like, no, I can't leave that in there. So pulled this stitch out of my. That's really dramatic. It was a small stitch. Didn't realise that he was looking at me the whole time. And I was like, did you just see that? And he no, when I pulled it out and pushed it back in, I went, did you see that? And you went, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
I don't think you had stitches on those. I think they're just like pinholes at the heel. Like my incisions, I don't think they had stitches. They will naturally heal.
No, but because it's a lump. It was a lump on the other one as well. They're all a bit lumpy, to be fair. Mum's going to be like, stop fucking touching your hand. But yeah, no, you speak about yours.
Yeah, so my recovery was slow and steady, I would say.
Yeah.
I did quite well during each parts of my recovery. So the first few days I was literally drinking through a syringe. Couldn't...
Oh, God, yeah.
My lips were all numb, I couldn't drink properly, so I was literally...
God, I forgot about that part.
It would take me 15-20 minutes to take like a small glass of juice or like a milkshake or whatever.
Yeah.
That's basically what I lived off the first few days. Tried some soups and stuff here and there, but struggled. Then I sort of slowly got onto a straw in like the next week, wasn't it?
Quite quickly.
Yeah, I started drinking a lot more, which was helpful, but food-wise, it was literally just milkshakes, ice cream.
I got you super noodles and we took the noodles out.
Yeah, got super noodles, took the noodles out and just like had the juice. Like,
just
or the,
for flavour
like the broth,
at that point,
wasn't it?
yeah.
Just literally getting the broth up for a syringe, still eating. And then sort of had my appointments, and then it was sort of back into the second week. I sort of tried some soft foods, didn't I?
Yeah.
I then started to try like mash and cottage pies and things like that.
Yeah, because we thought that... I didn't know that this existed, right? We thought we was going to have to always buy potatoes and make mash like the old school way, Jesus. The
Classic,
normal way.
yeah.
But with my wrist, I can't mash it.
No.
Lee couldn't stand up for long periods of time. One, because he'd get nosebleeds, but two, because he couldn't feel his mouth. He would dribble quite a lot. And he would get a little bit embarrassed about it. So even if it was just us, you would feel so guilty for doing it. Of course it is. But I was like, I don't give a shit. They do freeze the mash. If you don't know about this.
Like pellets, aren't they?
Yeah.
That you microwave and then they just mush up.
Brilliant. And then you can just add your own
So yeah, I've
butter
been
to
using
it.
that a lot. But yeah, like obviously where I was only drinking and like for a straw basically, I didn't have a lot of energy, so I'd get up for a bit and do a few bits, but then anything else would just wipe me out when I was just completely buggered, wasn't I?
Yeah.
But
we're 4 weeks in.
Now 4 weeks in, I'm still on soft foods. I can't physically chew until 6 weeks after, so I'm
He's
still
just
on
mushing it with his tongue.
cottage pies, bagels like pasta,
You had
eggs.
Hunter's beans and mash tonight.
Yeah, no, I had the mashed potato, some beans on top, loads of cheese, barbecue sauce, and mixed it all in. Yesterday I dabbled and had some salmon.
You did, yeah.
That was quite nice. I had some salmon in with the mash, but yeah, nothing I can chew until 6 weeks after. So I'm still on soft foods.
Have you got another dentist appointment before that, just to confirm
Yeah, I've got
it?
one on the 2nd of September.
Okay.
But yeah, recovery's been slow and steady. I'm slowly still getting there. Still like in a bit of pain. My bottom jaw's not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Speech is getting there. I'm a lot better than what it was.
It's the amount of people that have gone, you had a jaw operation, I didn't know.
Yeah.
And he's like, have I always fucking spoke like this?
Literally, I'm like, like, excuse me, speech, like, if you kind of, oh no, you still sound the same. Like, did I sound like, oh, honestly, but, clearly I did. But yeah, so slowly getting, I'm starting to feel a lot more normal now, which is nice. But it was just a long road of recovery of just both of us trying to help each other, but
like,
rest at the same time. Like, we both say to each other, like, no, stop, and like, both of us were like, no, just want to get this done, then
we're both as stubborn as each other.
Yeah, which probably didn't help. The next question, so Beck, how does your wrist compare to the previous wrist surgeries you've had on the other hand?
I feel like I've sort of explained that. Like, the first surgery is always going to be weird because you're not really knowing what's going on. But actually, the first surgery and this surgery are the same scars. They're just 4 dots. You can't really see them that much. You can sort of...
Ish on that hand,
yeah, I don't. If I go sort of like that, you might be able to see some imprints. I don't know. But yeah, that was my first surgery. Was end of 2020.
Yeah.
We're mid 2024 and I'm 4 surgeries in with my wrists. What was the question?
How does your wrist compare to the previous ones you've had?
Yeah, they're all different surgeries. Like the first one was removing a ganglion, the second one was taking out the postal anterior nerve, which I thought they were pinning my wrist, but it was PIN for postal anterior nerve. Genuinely, the appointments with my surgeon are so quick and sometimes a bit baffling
Yeah.
that I don't know still to this day what that operation was.
Yeah.
No idea. And in all honesty, I didn't know what that one was until I got to hand therapy and she read the notes. So
Yeah, that is true, yeah. It's very vague and very...
it just is what it is, really. My wrists are always going to be weak. They're not... I don't personally think anyway they're going to get back to a point where I can do what I used to do. But I have always had weak wrists anyway.
To that level, I don't know, yeah. But...
Yeah. Less pain after, maybe.
Yeah, I
but
think-
they did give me ketamine, so I was freaking loopy for
From an
that.
outside point of view, I think, yeah, the aftermath of this one doesn't seem to be as bad
I'm
as
being
the
more
previous.
careful this time.
Yeah, which is a good thing. You need
Yeah.
to be doing. How was the pain for each of you?
A lot better. Mine was more ache than like
Yeah.
severe pain. Like a prolonging ache is
Yeah.
sort of what mine was. I didn't have any pain after surgery because I was high. And
Still
they
numb
put
as
they
well,
put a
wasn't
nerve
it?
block in my arm, which that really wound me up when one of the nurses was like, "Oh no, that would have been out of your system." And then the doctor came around and was like, "No, your system takes a lot
Yeah.
longer to get rid of stuff. Like the nerve block is clearly still there." And I was like, "I knew it." But yeah, I don't know what the question was again. I'm like freaking Nemo.
How was the
tonight.
pain for each of you? But
Oh yeah, yeah, it just sort of ate. There was a little bit of pain. I remember, like during the night, they had to give me morphine like once, but they didn't give me enough morphine for me to warrant me taking it home. The painkillers didn't really touch the sides because it was more sort of like the ache. It only really hurt when I
yeah,
flicked my wrist. So yeah, better I would say than the previous surgeries for me.
definitely. My pain wise, at the start when we was keeping up with I got given painkillers that I had to. Well, you had to crush up and like dissolve it in water because I had to drink it through a syringe.
Literally
Still.
felt like a druggie in the kitchen having
Literally.
to break a tablet with the back of a spoon.
It was like white powder, wasn't it? On
Yeah.
the tin, but dissolved it in water. When I was keeping up with that, the pain in my jaw was manageable. It was more I was getting headaches, wasn't I?
Yeah, headaches and
Mine
nosebleeds.
was headaches and just like no energy. That was the worst part of that, and it took so long to drink or do anything. I was just like, I can't be bothered. Like, but I knew I needed to drink. It was hot as well, and then since then I've sort of gone off not taking any painkillers, and it hurts and aches, but painkillers don't really help that.
I
It's sort
find
of-
it good to have pain because you can monitor when it gets better.
Yeah. Like
That makes
it's a lot better now. I still get the odd pain and it's aching. Like after a long day of talking, like I'm back working from home now. Which is a question is
First day back to work tomorrow.
It is, yeah. Yeah, so I was working, but
Like, as
after
in
like
person, he works.
like talking a lot on the phone and then doing stuff and like things like that, it does ache after a while. But
Yeah.
it's just an ache. Like it's manageable. It's not unbearable to the point where I have to stop. Whereas yeah, when I was just taking the painkillers, it was just headaches. Weirdly.
Next.
How quickly were each of you back at work?
I had 2 weeks off.
I was scheduled to have 2 weeks off, wasn't I? And then on the day that I was supposed to be back at work, it was still just so painful. I had no energy or anything,
yeah, you
so
couldn't
I ended
have
up
done that.
taking an extra 3 or 4 days off.
You had an extra 3 because you went back to emails on the Thursday.
Yeah, and then since then I've been working from home for coming up to 2 weeks now, and tomorrow is going to be my first day back in the office.
Yeah, sort of
Now-
gradually going back in, probably like a day this week, maybe a couple
Yeah,
of days
like
next
now
week.
I'm back driving, like I've been driving to the shops nearby and just testing it and driving to
Yeah.
appointments as well. I now feel more comfortable and it's not as painful to drive. That was the original
and you've been
thing.
sort of dropping me to work, which means
Little
he's driving.
short
Granted,
journeys,
it's
yeah.
only like 4 minutes, but dropping me to work and driving back on his own.
Yeah.
So gaining that sort of like solo driving confidence
Just
as
getting
well.
back into the habit of it, and like I drove to one of my dentist appointments, which was a good stint to get back into
You've
it. and
driven
that was
me to
alright.
some appointments. like-
Yeah, so it's good now, and then I'll be back in the office and sort of gradually work my way back into it, which is
Yeah.
good. That was one you already answered.
But how did I wipe my arse?
Yeah, you already answered that. Are you glad that it wasn't both wrists? Like
This was quite funny actually, yeah. So I was going in for double wrist surgery and everyone was like, that's wild. But so many wild things were going on at that point, like with both of us having surgery at the same time. We really hadn't planned ahead or thought it through. We got all like your con plan like the days before. Like we really weren't prepared. That in my head I was like, oh, it's just another thing. And if you've ever had an operation before, you like go in and get all your like pre-op checks done and whatever on the morning, get into your gown, do your pregnancy test.
I didn't have to.
Did you not? No. And they come back like you're not pregnant. I was like, I know. But yeah, the surgeons, like one of the people that work with him, come round and was like, so what did you want to have done today?
Oh,
And I was like,
I was just like,
cut and blow?
Yeah.
What? But I've
shot.
never, in all of the operations, like wrists and others that I've ever had, been asked what I want done on the morning of. They drew an arrow on both of my, I think I showed that in the last vlog, like on both of my wrists. It hurts in like the middle of my hand. They drew an arrow on both of the wrists and they originally were going to arthroscopy one wrist, which was the right wrist, and then they were going to explore the other one. But what they ended up doing, because they said doing two wrists at one time would be stupid, which yes, it would
everyone
be.
knew that, yeah.
So how the fuck would I have wiped my arse then? I really don't
imagine
know.
the recovery for both of us.
No, thank you.
At that point.
Yeah, they just did an X-ray on one wrist. It still needs to be done. The left wrist apparently needs to be done again. It needs an MRI, blah, blah, blah. But yes, I am very, very glad that it was just one wrist, because I think I was so already over the fact that we were both going to have it at the same time and I didn't like it and I didn't really want to go through with it, that at that point it was kind of like, fuck, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing we got to at the point, wasn't it? It was like, we'll just get on with it and once it's done, it's done. Yeah, I didn't really talk about mine, did I, when I went in? No. For my surgery. So I went in early morning, obviously. It was a 7:30 slot. So I was in the waiting room, I think about 7:15, once my dad dropped me off. It didn't take too long for me to get called in to do all the pre-op things.
Did you go in with you or just straight off?
No, you couldn't. You had to go in on your own. No one could come with you.
Similar to what you did for me.
Yeah. So yeah, dropped me off. So I went through, had all like the things, made sure all my details were right. He told me what was going to happen. Did my weight, got changed into the gown, and it was literally, he was like, "Oh, it's time to be through for you in a minute to like come and collect you," because I think there was 2 people having the surgery that day.
Yeah, and it was either you
And
or
I
either
didn't
the morning
know.
or the afternoon.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, hopefully it's that," because obviously couldn't eat beforehand or anything, so I was starving at that point anyway. And he was like, "Yeah, no, it's time to be kind of like come through to get you in a second." And as he was saying that, 2 people had already walked into the room. So as I said that, they were like, "Right, you ready?" And I was like, "Oh, right, shit, okay."
He literally text me like, going down now.
Yeah, literally. I was like, I didn't have 2 seconds to text you. Just like, right, yeah, I'm going down.
Yeah.
And everything. And then got up and I was like, can I have a wee first? Like, because I thought once I've had the surgery, I'm not going to want to get up and have a wee.
No.
We just got taken through to this room, and I was like laying down on the bed. The anaesthetist down the side trying to find a vein. And next thing I know, there's like hot blankets getting put on me and like straps over to like keep me. I was like, bloody hell, like what's going on? It all happened really quickly. But I was sort of glad it did because it didn't give me too much time to think. Not that I was nervous or anything, I was just like, I just want to get it done.
You said your cannula really hurt, didn't it?
Yeah, it's sort of, I think the veins collapsed or blew or whatever it was on that side.
Gross.
Um,
Yeah, because when I turned up, I was like, that needs changing.
but yeah, so I had all that done and then was down and asleep really quickly. Woke up. I think I woke up a lot better this time compared to my first surgery.
I did not.
And then yeah, woke up with like my vein type mask on, the ice mask.
Oh
was
my
really
god,
nice.
honestly.
But yeah, they put this like cold mask on you, it's constantly
I
pumped
left
cold water
and cried. I had to stop myself from crying. Not because of what Lee looked like, because I could see how much pain he was in. Even though you couldn't feel, like, do you know what? I don't even know how to explain it, because you couldn't really feel it, but you probably could feel it. Like, it was just that vulnerability. I hated
was
it.
just like, yeah, zonked like completely out of it. Well, not completely out of it, I knew what was going on, but just no energy, like.
Because I actually called the hospital to see, at about 12:30 I called the hospital and was like, "Is he back?" And they were like, "Yes." So I
was down for about 3 hours, wasn't I? I think.
yeah.
Ish.
Whereas it was a bit different for me because they couldn't wake me up for 5 hours. My brain was like there, but my eyes just wouldn't open. I think I said this in the last vlog. So my mum was having about 9,000 panic attacks, saying to Lee, because Lee was my next of kin, she couldn't do anything, and he was like, "Oh, it's fine." She just was not.
Literally all afternoon was just me trying to put your mum's mind at ease. Like, no, it's fine. And she was like, "Claudia, that's something you know by now." And I remember the last time you had something done, it took you a long time for you to come round.
Well, no, it's not that it takes me a long time to come round. It's that I don't know. I'm just usually cold when I come round and that sort of stuff. It's more usually, you know, when I'm saying like you're tired and you can't be asked, I'm round, but I'm not touching my phone. I'm just sort of like, I'll gathering my thoughts. Whereas this time, they were like this, open your eyes, and I was like, I can't. I was speaking like it. I was like, I can't. And one person, because I actually spoke to her afterwards, I was standing there, and my wrist was like this. She started doing this, shaking my arm. I was like, I just went, get off my arm. Like, because I was like, you just proper got like
it's the stupidest thing.
Stern voice. And then later when she come around, she was like, "You told me to get off your arm earlier." I was like, "Yes, why were you shaking the arm that was in a freaking sleep?"
That was warranted.
Yeah, like, go away.
But so that was me just trying to keep your mum from driving.
But they
down
put the cannula in my foot. Because they were investigating both the wrists, they couldn't have a cannula in. So they put the cannula in my foot, which actually I really recommend. One, because it goes in so much easier.
Yeah, like, it was really good actually,
wasn't it? But it was so much easier, but my foot bruised like a freaking peach, didn't
for like
it?
A week or two,
it was black and it was so painful.
Mine had that in the hand as well.
Like, biggest bruises ever.
But yeah, I remember coming round, it was a lot better, and then the pain was sort of manageable because they was constantly putting painkillers in, and I had this ice thing on my face the whole time. And then I remember, you turned up and I was sort of half with it, but so tired and drained of not eating or drinking really anything.
Yeah, we stayed for about 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, I felt really bad because you had turned up and I think I dozed off at one point.
It didn't matter about that.
Because at that point, I can imagine from your point of view, to see me out of it was just a bit like, Jesus.
I didn't like it at all.
But yeah, then I remember getting up to go to the toilet in the night and they were like, "Oh yeah, you're going to feel sick because you swallowed a lot of blood."
Like, oh god, it was vile. They kept saying that when I was there.
But
I was like,
my god, were they right? I went to the toilet at one point and I thought I was going to be sick. But obviously they put a load of...
Sorry about that. Battery died. You were saying about bands?
So they banded like my teeth together. I had like hooks on both sets of teeth to like keep my mouth closed. I was in position. But I honestly felt so sick.
I thought you was going to be sick a couple of times when we were there, and I was literally petrified. Not because I'm scared of sick. Don't care about sick at all. But it was more, I couldn't cope with the idea of how much that was going to hurt you.
Well, it's hurt. Yeah, the potential of hurting me. But the woman, when I said it, because I was literally in the toilet, and you have to put a buzzer for him to come and walk you back. I was literally, I just feel so sick, and she was like, "Oh, let's get you back to the bed," because she said something like, "We've got suction there" or something. So obviously, if you can't open your mouth enough to be sick, I was just like, ugh. Luckily, I got back to bed, laid down, and just managed to not be sick.
Yeah.
And then they were literally couldn't drink very well. Like even drinking through a syringe at that point was so difficult. They had me on fluids all night through the cannula. Luckily, I got that one taken out and then put it over here, but both of them bloody hurt. And then that put in like 2 litres for me in that night.
Yeah, you did have quite a lot.
Yeah, and the next morning I was trying to drink like apple juice and milk, so just again so difficult. And then you and Sam turned up, and then drove home. I get car sick when I'm in a passenger seat or anything anyway, and it's hot, but it was just horrendously awful anyway, being car sick, in pain. I had like 2 ice packs on my face.
Yeah, I brought cold packs.
That was a really good idea. And I just got in and laid in bed, and I was just sort of lazing around for those first day or two, wasn't I? But
you needed to.
But yeah,
Next.
Glad it's all done now. So that was everything to do with the surgery. We're now on to general...
10 out of 10, wouldn't recommend.
Yeah, but glad it's all done now.
Well, I've still got a surgery to go, but yeah.
That is true. I hope I don't have any more.
No, you're not allowed.
So,
mental breakdown.
So now on to general questions or updates. So, do we have any upcoming trips or holidays planned?
Yes, we are going to the Bath Christmas market. which you guys will see in December. We need to figure out what we're going to do with Vlogmas this year. Like, are we going to do like a week? I can tell you right now, my ADHD ass cannot commit to everyday vlogs. I don't know how people do that.
Every day would be very challenging.
I don't know how people do that. I think it was just going to be Vlogmas in December. Like, I think we'll make sure that we're doing, like, we're going to continue to do Monday and Thursday.
Yep.
So I think it's more that. It might be like Christmas week, we'll have like a special.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Because in Bath, we can get a couple of vlogs out again. Like, this time around, we're going to a little lodge with a hot tub, aren't we?
We are.
Which would be so nice. It's a bit further out from Bath, but...
We are going to Bath Friday to Monday in December for one of the weekends. Lily's birthday is coming up in October, and we usually do a trip for birthdays. We haven't actually decided what that is, whether it's just a day trip or whether it's an overnight. We do love a Premier Inn and a
we
hotel
do love
stay.
a hotel stay, we do love a spa day. It's just deciding what we want to do.
We were thinking about either like York or Cambridge. Edinburgh was in there, Lake District was in there, Cornwall.
There's a few places we want to go, but then, like, for example, Edinburgh. I'd love to go to Edinburgh, but we want to go during the Fringe in August.
Yeah, that would be like a next year
York,
thing.
again, another Christmas market that would be amazing. So it's about just finding what we want to do, and then every other idea we've got.
So planned trips at the minute is just Bath in December.
So Christmas plans.
Christmas plans, in what regard? Like what we're doing on Christmas or just December?
Yeah, so obviously leading up to Christmas, we're going to the Christmas markets, but then I suppose actual Christmas.
Actual Christmas, we are hosting.
We're hosting this year, yeah.
We are hosting for the first time ever, and it's going to be the most expensive hosting ever because we need to buy a new sofa for it.
Only we would.
Our dinky ass sofa fits 4 people at a push.
Yeah.
But isn't really hugely comfortable. But
It's not suitable for what we need.
we have a minimum of 6 people, maximum of 10.
Potentially, yeah, anywhere between 6 and 10 people
Who
showing
knows?
up to the house.
And 4 butts can go on a sofa uncomfortably, 3 at a push. 2 comfortably, so we're fucked.
Like, if it was just for an evening, we could make do with the dining room chairs or whatever, where people will be here from Christmas Eve to Boxing Day and extended period of time. It's not really ideal to be alternating or sitting on dining room chairs. Like,
no, it's not comfortable. I wouldn't want to do that at someone's house. I'd want to be sitting on a sofa from coming over.
Yeah, you want to be
Christmas.
cosy if we've got like Christmas movies on, if we're playing games and all things like that. But we are hosting. It will be nice.
We are.
We've got plenty of games planned.
We might get our meat from the local butchers because there's a butcher's in the village, which would be really cute.
We are going to put on a really nice spread and then.
Yeah, and just enjoy it. So that would be nice. So Christmas plans are my family and potentially your family are coming over for Christmas. We then go to Lily's grandma's on the 26th. We do it every year.
Boxing Day, yeah.
I absolutely love it. I am the reigning champion.
We need to remember to take that trophy, otherwise we'll all get complaints.
Actually forget. I am the reigning champion of the game we play, Mexican Train.
And then that's where we'll also do the Secret Santa with my family.
Yes.
Which is always good.
And we're doing a Secret Santa with mine this year just to sort of save on money because my mum has no filter with how much she spends at Christmas.
And neither do we, to be fair.
Neither does my nan.
We're all just as bad as each other.
You used to be good. I've influenced you heavily.
You have, yeah. You and your family have made me...
Don't you bring my family into
Well,
this?
yeah, you've met man. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Christmas this year. Having our own house to decorate and everything like that as well. And then having
we haven't decided if
us.
we're going to put outside Christmas lights on the house yet.
No, that is true. We need to see.
And then we'll be having our solo Christmas. So we started a tradition last year that I absolutely love. And I think it was actually in one of the throwback Vlogmas
it was, yeah.
videos. So it'll be on the channel if you
prepping.
want to go check it out. I'll link it down below. Where we have our own Christmas days. Because the hullabaloo of Christmas is sometimes so stressful. And my family are perfectionists, so it can be quite a stressful environment of going, we want the dinner to be perfect, we need the present to be perfect.
We need to be doing something or this or that.
Yeah, and so I said to Lee last year, I just want a Christmas day that is just for us. I want to recook Christmas dinner, I want to open some presents. So what we did was on the 30th of December, we had Christmas... No...
I think it was like the 28th or 29th.
No idea. On a certain day, I think maybe the 28th or 29th.
In between Christmas and New Year.
Yeah, we
those odd
had
days.
our own Christmas day, which is where, so the day before we went to Asda, we gave ourselves a £20 budget, but we actually spent like £25.
Yep.
And we got those, you know, those boxes that are like Christmas Eve boxes, ignored the fact that that's what it was and wrote each other's names on it. And we bought presents of a maximum of £25 to put inside, and we wrapped them up. So the next day on Christmas Day, we got up in the morning, FaceTime my mum, started cooking our Christmas dinner. We laid the table, so we had crackers, like my mum gave me like a couple of leftover crackers.
Yeah.
We had the hats and everything, the music was playing our Christmas songs, we put our Christmas jumpers on. We had our meal with all the like mint sauces and the cranberry sauces and everything.
Roast, yeah.
And then we didn't, you know, when you open your presents on Christmas Day, you then sort of in the evening or the next day maybe like go through them and have a look. We didn't do that. We bagged everything up so that after dinner we then opened our presents, like our new presents, and then we looked through all of the presents that we'd got on Christmas Day. So it felt like there was quite a lot. I mean, not that the amount of presents makes it Christmas, but it felt like we had loads sort of going on. I think we watched like Christmas films, had dessert,
games, we just had our own little Christmas day of.
And I couldn't recommend that more.
Yeah, just dinner, opening a few little presents that we got each other.
Even when we have kids, they can fuck off that day.
Yeah, we'll send them over to your mums or my mums.
They can go to Nanny's house, have fun with Nanny.
And we have a day that was
Hell
so
yeah,
nice.
Honestly, it was so amazing.
It was. I'd do that again in a heartbeat.
Yeah, so we will be.
Yeah. Next one's about the channel. Where do you see the channel going?
Oh, I don't know. I just love it. I just see it being the best lot of family memories. Like that's I want the channel to have a nice community of people that are nice, kind, honest, funny, can have a laugh, can give advice. I'd love this to be a place that people come to when they want to look for some advice, and that people can just help you out, like in the comments, or like if I don't get there first, someone else can. Like I see communities like on other people's pages, like on Brogan's page, on Elle's page, like Molly May's page, and I'm like That's what I love, and that's what I'd like. I'd love this to be like our source of income, or a source of income for us. In all honesty, I just really enjoy making videos, like especially just for us. If like we're on 95 followers, if we only ever had 95 followers, I really don't think
I can see it growing as a community and as like a little thing like that. And as long as you keep it as authentic and it is as us, and it is just as you've always said, even if it's just our little memory bank, it's such a nice little thing and bringing people along for the way.
Like when we made that Vlogmas video and we didn't post it for however long, it was so nice watching it back, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, literally just us reminiscing. Like even like I see clips from old videos as well. It's nice to go back and things we don't remember or things we missed. Like it is just so lovely to see, and seeing the channel continue like that is just.
And seeing how different videos are now to what they were at the beginning.
Yeah,
I mean, this is top quality.
Oh, this is as good as it gets. Yeah, and then lastly, is any ideas or trips you'd love to show on the channel?
A cruise. Because I never thought I would go on one. We're most likely going on a cruise next year for my mum's 60th birthday. She's just sort of debating which ones she wants to go on.
Yeah.
And I'd really love to show you a cruise, because it's a bucket list thing for me, because it's a fear for me. Like, and I want to conquer a fear. Like, we're not going to go like transatlantic to the Bahamas, but it's probably just going to be a Mediterranean cruise. But
perfect, yeah.
Then I'd like to do a Nordic fjord. So yeah, a cruise I would definitely like to show you guys next year. And Edinburgh. I would really like, city break wise next year, I would definitely like to go to Edinburgh. And if we can't make your Christmas markets this year, definitely next year.
Definitely, yeah.
They're my three. So Med Cruise, Edinburgh, York. I don't know if we'll fit in a fjords as well next year, if not the year after.
It doesn't have to be in the next year. It could be anything the next few years. Mine would definitely have been a cruise as well. I'd also just like to show our everyday and different adventures we'd go on.
I thought you said trips. That's why I only said.
Well, yeah, no, like ideas and trips.
Your question was trips.
No. So trips, I mean like our adventures to different cities, to different places. I'd like to do a few more like long weekends and little European trips and things like that.
Mm.
And potentially America.
Where do you want to go in America?
Just like a few different places, back to New York, Vegas, and then all the different ones like Chicago, but just different towns and different areas.
Well, Matt's in Vegas at the minute, isn't he, Matt and Brett?
Yeah, I think they're going.
They are on their honeymoon and they've just got to Austin.
I believe so.
Yes?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
What was the first stop?
Nashville.
So they went Nashville, they've just arrived in Austin, then they're going to Vegas, and then they are driving to LA.
Yeah.
For their honeymoon. So Matt and Brooke got married last July. Yeah. You weren't confirming.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
They got married last July in the Cotswolds and it was absolutely beautiful. It was a really amazing day. I was telling someone about this earlier actually, because we were saying that it rained on Saturday and we were saying it would have been so bad for anyone getting married. This wedding, right, someone was watching them because every time we had to be outside, glorious, like absolutely glorious. Every time we had to be inside, like for the dinner or anything like that, hailstones. Like
yeah, it worked out
rain,
somehow
hailstones.
perfectly.
So cosy. But yeah, so they're on honeymoon at the minute in America. That's what reminded
But yeah, I'd love to do a lot more trips, a lot more adventures. And
yeah, and we'll just take you guys along.
Pretty much, yeah.
But yeah, thank you for coming to, I was going to say our TED Talk, but I would have given myself the ick, but I've already said it now. Thank you for sticking with us, guys. It's been a crazy month.
It really has. Like
4 or 5 weeks. It's been absolutely wild. We are going to do our best to get the regular content out. We're going to see if we can, every time I say this it never happens, but like pile bank a few videos this weekend. We are dog sitting for our little Lola Bells. So maybe we'll try and get a few vlogs out for this weekend. Probably not spend the weekend with us if we want to get a few out.
Yeah, we can.
We need to go to, we're aiming to potentially on Friday go over to Lakeside and Costco and have a little look at some sofas over there. We did find one we liked in Furniture Village, but on reflection, it's not as comfortable as we thought. So we're going to have a little look in IKEA and Costco at those, so you guys can come along with us for that, and then whatever we get up to on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, I'm sure we can create a few vlogs out of it.
Yeah, but for now, guys, we will love you, leave you, potentially go for another poo. Maybe not.
And try and get some form of sleep.
Foot massage. For me.
I was going to say I'd love one.
Never. Never in a million
If that ever
years.
happens, she's lost a bet or something.
I've lost my mind.
And that.
But yeah, guys, please subscribe. Please like the video. Please comment. All of that sort of stuff really helps me and lets me know the sort of videos that you guys are liking. Like what you want to see. Please put down below like any videos that you do sort of like, maybe if there's any videos on other channels that you're like, I really love it when I see my boyfriend's done my makeup, or let's go shopping with me, or anything like that.
Like wardrobe related.
Yeah, like just give us some ideas, because I love just chatting away, but I don't know, like, we brought up the idea of short form content and my mum was fuming, so I don't think that's ever going to be us.
That won't go down.
But yeah, anyway, tell your friends, tell your not friends. We love you loads, and we will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.